We're here today to discuss, because Chris wanted to be on camera and made me and James forcefully made us sit through the entirety of E3 so that we three could talk about E3, which starts with EA. James, so if you check your notes, could you just fill us in on the beat for beat what happened in EA?
Yeah, they're pretty sweaty. I think they started with, was it Rage?
This is
Rage 2.
Bethesda. Chris, what happened with EA?
Okay, so EA was the first conference.
Yes.
And it sets the bar of where it's setting the bar of E3. It's every show it's topping the last one kind of thing. And EA's a weird one to open on because they've been routinely voted the most hated fucking company in the world and the worst company to work for. And if there was some kind of dog shit award, they've won it.
They wouldn't even win it. That's how shit they are at winning.
Yeah, you can download and play the entire game right now for free.
No, so it's also weird because you've got to look at what is E3? Is it a press conference for selling shit, or is it an investor meeting where they talk about stuff internally to justify things to their stockholders and stuff like that?
That is a good point when you say what it is, because I not E3 normally. I would just watch all the trailers and shit afterwards. I'd never sit through the entire thing like we did and I regretted it.
Yeah, this is the first time I've watched.
I didn't know.
Really? I watch it every
Yeah.
year. I watch all the fucking conferences.
I didn't
you
know
have the
until you told me that it was actually a conference thing that we've been to for camera gear.
It's
and
like a
shit.
trade show. Yeah.
A trade show. That's the word. I didn't realise that was a thing. I thought it was where they should unleash stuff to the public. So it makes sense that during almost the entirety of E3's thing, when they're like, make some noise for insert thing, that it cuts to the crowd, nobody's making any noise. Everyone's sitting there looking really bored because in their minds they're at a fucking trade show.
My favourite thing is when they ship
Yeah.
people in. In a couple of the shows, they've shipped in fans to applaud for stuff, and it's it's the Destiny 2 new expansion, and 4 people are like, yes, yes, and no one else gives a shit.
Yeah, it's little pockets of people and it's developers. I swear, half of that audience is developers that's been
Oh, the
invited.
EA one was the worst one because they're like, we're sitting here live right now with the guy who's making Star Wars. What have you got to bring us? Nothing, because I didn't know this was going to happen. It's called Jedi something or other.
We're doing this slightly out of order. Let's go through this properly.
James, get your notes out and we'll...
So the first big thing is, I want to say Battlefront, but I mean Battlefield 5.
I hate that. I do that so frequently. They're so hard to tell
I
apart.
thought you were saying immediately, I hate
Also,
Battlefield.
this E3, right, I don't know about you guys, but I mean, there's a big one coming up, which is Fallout 76. The last one I played was 4. The last fucking Battlefield that came out was Battlefield 1. What? Where are they? Have I missed a load of time?
It's becoming that franchise thing where they realise that they don't want to have, the Marvel films, they don't want to be in a situation where it's like Avengers 18.
Mm-hmm.
They want to be able to just use a title, like the Bond films, just avoided from the start.
Yeah.
But it's weird because some of the best games are, Final Fantasy's on 15. That's a really messy title.
Yeah.
And they're completely unrelated, so it's not
Which
they're
is weird
sequels.
that they have numbers because they're completely unrelated.
But Final Fantasy is a good brand name rather than if they called it, fucking pretty boys on a road trip banging each other. I would also still buy that, but it would be a different thing. But Battlefield 5, I think, was one of the big things they spoke about.
Yes.
Do you guys care?
Well, you can now dive roll through Windows. That's important.
That's not a fucking gameplay feature.
My first note, and this is a phrase that comes up frequently, is I don't care.
Battle Royale.
They've got a Battle Royale mode in it,
Do you
guys.
care about that?
Yeah.
I cared because I like when people were like, ooh, in the audience, because no one cared.
It's Royale.
Battle Royale, no one cares about. This is when you're like, I want to play Fortnite with you guys. I'm like, no,
Fortnite's fun.
good.
Fortnite's fun. Battle Royale's fun. You probably don't need 6 or 7 Battle Royale games, which, I mean, over the course of this whole conference, we probably cover about 8.
There was 2 in the PC one alone.
No, there were 3
You
or
can see the
4.
trends in the show.
Yeah.
I imagine that if you look over all the E3 things for 10, 20 years, you can see the trends as they emerge.
Mm-hmm.
And the Battle Royale thing it's everywhere at the moment. I'm not quite sure why they make so much money, but they do. I get that they're very easy to understand. 100 people one winner, which I like. That's a great idea. But like Battlefield 5 announced that it was having a Royale mode, and that got, you know, a kind of pathetic applause and stuff. Do you think that's enough to like differentiate it from? Because Battlefield and COD aren't really the competitors anymore.
No, not really, because Battlefield's a lot. I want to say there's more strategy in it. You can smash
Roll
buildings.
footage of fucking shit exploding. There's no strategy.
Yeah, no, I mean, COD is super fast paced. You run, you shoot. If you're me, you die within every 5 steps you've taken.
That's why I don't
Yeah,
play them
that's
anymore.
also PUBG as well, though, to be
Yeah,
fair.
but with Battlefield, it seems to be it's a slower game. It's a bit more methodical. You've got to cover more ground, and you can destroy entire buildings, which is just you roll tanks through everything.
This one's set in World War II as well, right? Am I right in thinking that they're going back
Yes.
to World War II?
Yeah,
Yeah, with
'cause
robot
the first
hands.
was World War One. Now they're doing World War Two,
Yes.
and then they're doing World War Three in the past. That's gonna be tricky.
That will be in the past.
You
by
can do the
time
Cold
game
War.
comes out.
And
That
just
would
have
be
everyone
a
living in
great
fear.
game. Yeah, the game like just fire, just shoot propaganda at people.
Yeah, you can have like World War Three in VR, just watching a TV,
That would be pretty
a
sweet.
tiny.
Just seeing a
shitty
nuclear
TV.
missile coming towards you, being like, "Fuck!" Press X to dodge.
So you said you don't care about Battlefield 5.
What
Why?
did I say? I don't care about Battlefield 5.
Don't read your notes. Talk.
I'm going to talk to this camera because this is the.
Be more natural. Be more natural.
This is natural.
Talk to us.
So, James, I
Yes,
I don't care because I've Battlefield games. I've played one of them. I played Battlefield 2. I don't care because I still like playing single player games. And there was a point where COD just didn't fucking care anymore. And I feel like they're doing the same with Battlefield. They just don't. It's like every time they bring it up at a trade show, they're like, okay, so check out all the fucking online and all this stuff. And I'm like, oh man, like, at least Battlefield 1 had a good thing about story. And it was all about like war as hell. And like when you die, you come back as a different character and all this kind of stuff. And I was like, oh, that's really interesting for the 5 minutes you've ever talked about that. And a great online.
But the online's the main part of the game.
Well, this is the
Have
thing.
they
It's
dropped-
now the main part of the game, and that's why I don't care.
But it's
'cause I
always
still
been,
like
it's always been that. Like,
yes,
like
with Battlefield.
and
yes.
COD.
Have they dropped
COD
the
was
main?
never like
the
that.
main,
COD was
like
never
co-op?
like. I've played
Oh.
COD 1 all the way through up until Black
Okay,
Ops 2
no, I
before
am
gave
talking
up.
when COD became really big, which is kind of the Modern Warfare onwards.
Which is Modern Warfare, which became a big deal because of the like crazy shit that was in the story and stuff, and like the nuke
that's
going
not-
off and all that stuff, and then the online started happening. And
Yeah.
it was from there they were like, oh, the online's getting pretty famous.
But I will say it was like people maybe played the story mode for a couple of times, but then played the online and prestige like eight times.
I never played the online of COD.
No, it's true. Like
COD 4.
people probably, I would say the average person put in more hours into the online
Oh,
than
without
the
doubt.
single player.
I have in every single COD. I would say the last 2 or 3 CODs that I played, I definitely haven't completed the single campaign.
It's not when you're buying it.
I played like a couple of bits, and then I just dive into zombies.
Oh yeah, zombies as well.
Zombies
That's like a
is
big
fun.
thing. Does
I
Battlefield
really
have an
enjoy
equivalent of that? Like a fun mode? I guess Royale now.
Yeah, well, I don't know. They do like their wars where they have like a.
I always thought Battlefield
That's
was a
called
Royale.
multiplayer.
Yeah, but they have massive multiplayers.
Yeah, but they're
Um,
huge. I haven't played a COD game in ages, but if I was to play an online shooter, I'd probably play COD because of nailed controls and everything. But now it's just got like jetpacks and stuff in it, and I'm like,
You know, that was because it looked like the trend, instead of like Royale games, it looked like the trend was going to be hero shooters,
yeah.
which I'm kind of pleased hasn't taken off quite as much as it looked like it was going to when everything was doing it.
Yeah,
What, with
I'm also
Titanfall?
pleased that
Titanfall, Paladins, although that's got a Royale mode now.
and it's coming to Switch, right?
Yeah. And Overwatch is still big, but not like it's gone down quite a lot since it's launched and stuff.
Yeah.
But it's, I noticed like Quake Champions came up and stuff. Like
But to be fair, Quake was always there first.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, like you can see the trend of like last year they probably announced 80 hero shooters. This year it's Royale games. Next year it's
Well, this year it was Royale games, and it was we're no longer gonna rip you for crates. And the Star Wars guy who was just constantly like, yeah, I'm really sorry.
Thank you very much for playing the game, providing us with your feedback, talking to us. Together, we will make this the greatest game that we can possibly build.
Oh, cool. for the game that already came out.
Yeah.
That's already out on
Well,
the shelves.
I do-
You're gonna make it good.
I do like the idea of trying to. I think with Battlefront, it was just a very sad, wasted opportunity. Because I played the beta of that and was like, oh, well, I played the beta of the first one. And I was like, this is really cool. This is super, super pretty. I'm going to buy this. And then I got it. And I was like, oh, the beta was the entire game. I played it for an hour and then turned it off. But a very good multiplayer Star Wars game, who doesn't want that? I like they're trying to fix it. I think that's really admirable. It's really cool to see that. Like, I've heard a lot of things about No Man's Sky recently has actually turned into the game that was promised. Ish.
Did they get forced to release that early or something?
With Battlefront, they were pushed to release it early.
Yeah.
And that's what he was apologising for as well. He was like, really sorry, we rushed this to market and we didn't get to make this great game that we had hoped to make.
It's crazy.
And we
'cause,
fucked
like,
up.
Back in the day, you get these pushes, be like, well, you have to release it because the film's coming out. GoldenEye, throwing back to that, they had to delay that, and Nintendo went like, you have to release it now. They let them do it, and then it came on to become one of the most, like, it was huge. Like, give the people the goddamn time. Although I still feel like EA would have still fucked that, because they still would have had their loot box shit. And I heard like Disney called them up and were like, what the hell are you doing? Let's change this now. Because you don't want to piss Disney off, because soon they're going to own everything.
They just bought us.
So we've been working with Lucas on getting the name and kind of the setting for what our Star Wars game is going to be, and we're going to talk about it right now.
Oh, you guys got any guesses? I bet you the internet is going wild right now.
They did announce a new Star Wars game in the weirdest way possible.
Oh, yeah. When they just went up to what I just assumed was an out-of-breath guy sat in the audience.
Do you reckon they planned that? Or they were like, hey, that's the guy working on the new Star Wars game, and we haven't had a single cheer yet. Let's go bully him. And he was like, I mean, I can't really talk about it, but there's definitely a game happening.
I can tell you the title, maybe?
They pressured him because, like, they said he was tweeting things yesterday, and then they were just like, we're just going to lean on you here, give you a little lower third strap, and now everyone is gonna message you bullshit if you don't.
And then PlayStation were watching and were like, we could do that. We could cut to something else to hide the fact that we're moving the entire audience.
It was a weird thing to do. It was a weird thing to announce it like that because it's not even a logo, no footage.
Nothing.
Why?
And they're in such bad like they screwed up so bad with the last Star Wars property. They're like, look, we're doing other Star Wars things that you're gonna like. Like, we don't even know what type of game it is.
You only get one chance to make that first impression, and the first impression for Fallen Jedi Fallen?
It's called Jedi Fallen Order.
Jedi the Fallen Order.
It's called Star Wars the
So you
Fallen
might
Jedi.
be able to hold a lightsaber, she said. But
this is our first impression of this game.
Yeah.
Roll footage. There's none.
I mean, at least do what fucking was it Square? What are they? Square
Enix.
Square Enix did, where they cut to A Quiet Man.
Yeah.
Was it A Quiet Man?
Oh,
and they just had cinematic footage of action.
Yeah, but that might be what the game's like how Remedy did that last game.
Quantum Break
that nobody played.
No, they just haven't made anything. I'm certain of it.
No, there was in-game footage.
There was game footage in there.
There definitely was. Roll footage.
Fuck, I'm wrong.
What did you guys think of Unraveled? Did you play the first one?
I didn't play the first one. It looked like a lot of fun. I really liked
it. Looked
the
lovely.
Concept. Like in a world of a lot of guns and aliens and robots, it's just something quite playful.
Yeah, sometimes the shows do turn into it's all the same flavour, and seeing cute little string people get murdered by birds. Plus, it looks like something I'd play with the missus because I could do all of the challenging bits.
I never played the first one either, and I mean this game looks cool, but all indie platformer puzzly things kind of just merge into one big old thing for me, and it's just it's not that I'm not interested, it's that there are certain things that came up throughout this thing where I'm like, well, that's day of release, and this is just I mean, one day I might, if it's in Game Pass, I wouldn't not play it, it's probably going to be one of the free games. I'm pretty sure that might have been free at one point, but I may have it and I've just never played it. But it's not like I hate it.
They can put that on the box.
This world that I live in is empty and cold. The loneliness cuts me and tortures my soul.
Do you remember Sea of Solitude?
So Sea of Solitude, is that the like,
Lee,
cartoonish one? The cartoonish one?
Not Sea of
Well,
Thieves. I guess it is.
No,
Sea of
it's
Thieves.
another indie title. Again, it's look at me struggling to describe an indie title when, no offense, they're all kind of similar. So it's, do you know what? I can't even describe it. Someone on a boat out there in the water. This sounds so insulting to the people that worked so hard to make this game. Again, it's just, for me personally, it just falls into the bracket of like Unraveled and stuff, and it's just like, these are things I will play, and then there'll be something I just do in like one sitting. Like when I eventually got around to Limbo and Hue and all these things, and I'm like, oh wow, these are really fun little games, and I really enjoyed the time I spent with this. It was a nice, relaxing, like you said, nice break from the shooty.
There were a lot of pirate seafaring games.
I don't know where pirating suddenly. Why that's something? Because it's not like Sea of Thieves.
What was the
made?
Assassin's
I mean,
Creed one?
Yeah, I was
the
gonna
thing
say-
is, this isn't even a pirate game, Sea of Solitude.
No, Sea of Solitude
Is it
was
not?
the like first person, what I call the walking simulators, the kind of Gone Home stuff, which is weird because it's like, I like Gone Home,
Gone Home's good, yeah.
but it's not, you can't really, that's not flashy. That's not big conference on massive screens. Like, it's walking around a house looking at letters, being a bit of a creep.
Do you reckon EA were just trying to show that they're a bit arty? They're a bit arty now and less looty.
No, because they spend like 40 minutes on FIFA and Madden, and there's that really cringe guy that came out with the belt.
Yeah, I was
Oh,
gonna. I've
God,
got
that
the
was
note.
one of
I've
the
got
worst
that.
things.
He came out and met a genuine American football player, and the guy was like, "Man, I'm so jealous of that belt that you got. Oh man, my shoulder hurts. It's a chronic injury from when I got hit for real in football."
It's like, yeah,
That's ridiculous.
He's like, no, I was a true athlete, and that's why I turned to this game. So you don't have to be a dweeb to play this game.
But what you just said there
Give me
was
the money.
infinitely less cringy than their little exchange.
It's so awkward.
You said you had the decision to go to your graduation or go to the tournament. So, like, what did you do?
I chased that money. I still got my diploma, but I chased that money.
There you go. We're out here chasing money.
That's weird. I feel like for loads of these conferences, they just didn't test them first, or get someone else to sit there and just go, yeah, maybe let's not get developers to talk about games. Maybe we should get presenters.
Especially when all your developers are from non-English speaking countries.
What does that mean, Lee?
It means that we should build a wall and we should keep them out.
Roll credits.
Japan already has a sea.
It does.
It's
have their
true.
own
It's
wall.
true. It's a Western-focused event, and
Yeah, but I mean, they don't have, like, so you said don't jump ahead, but I'm gonna, just briefly, as an example.
I mean,
Briefly.
see, what you
The
just did is
PC
made it really difficult to edit, and you're talking over me while you're doing
The
it. So just do it, and then worry about it later.
The PC Gamer one, those two, the people that presented it were actual presenters, and did better than any of the other people because, like you said, these people aren't presenters. They don't know how to do. Like the professor one had some bad moments where people were just like waiting for applause that never came.
The PC one, I don't know the woman that hosted it, but Day9, the guy, like he's like a Hearthstone streamer. He's used to like 4 or 5 hours of just talking, and like stuff happens, and just reacting, and he was really natural. And the PC show was kind of pants, but
Well, the two of them had really good dialogue. They
Yeah.
could throw between each other well.
Yes.
And they were mixing it up nicely.
And it flowed a lot.
Awkward pauses and stumbling over
Yeah.
words and saying, "Oh, I knew this would happen. I knew I'd cock it all up."
And when they left stage, they weren't like, "We nailed it."
oh, who was that? Was that
Jesus
Ubisoft?
That was a
Yeah,
Ubisoft.
you
Oh,
Yeah.
that's bad.
They fucked up all the mics on that, didn't they?
So there was loads of audio problems this year, which was really good. But that happens with all live events, though. So I will say one thing, which was one of the cringiest things to move on to the next thing, the Command and Conquer.
Oh my god, that was...
play Command and Conquer when you were younger?
A little bit, yeah.
Do you miss RTSs?
No.
You're not much of a PC gamer, are you?
No.
Nor are you, actually. You hate
No, but it was
RTSs.
on PlayStation.
But
Yeah,
we
I played it
both
on
watched the full
PlayStation.
PC conference.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And made notes, right, James?
Yeah.
That looks shit.
What, my notes?
No,
I put a
Command
lot
and-
of time and effort into these. Of course it's shit. It's a fucking EA game that's on a fucking mobile phone that's going to be full of pay-to-win bullshit. Like, of course that looks rubbish. And it didn't help that they got these super hype guys to come out and super hype the thing, and nobody in the audience cared. They were like, "Oh, it's Command and Conquer. Do you remember Command and Conquer?" I remember Command and Conquer on the PS1, but now Command and Conquer has become a joke. And when you think of Command and Conquer, you think of Tim Curry going, "Spice!" You don't think about Command and Conquer anymore. They killed that franchise off, and now it's come back from the dead evil on a mobile fucking device. Like all things that die come back evil on the mobile device.
RTS, they make more sense as a game on a phone. Like there's a lot of, they keep trying to port stuff to phones, and it's like Fortnite and PUBG are on phones now, and that's weird to me. But like,
I've played PUBG on the phone. I've played PUBG on the phone, and it's fine.
I haven't played them, but tapping to move stuff as an RTS makes loads of sense.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't be probably turn-based stuff is better. I played one of the iPhone port of XCOM.
That was great on an iPad.
Yeah. Actually, I think I did play it on an iPad rather than a phone. But like that worked really well.
Who released the Dungeon? Is it Dungeon Master?
Dungeon Keeper.
Dungeon Keeper. Who released that?
Do you need to ask?
Is it EA?
Of course it's EA.
Well, you're exactly right. Those games work perfectly on a touchscreen thing, i.e., I don't know, a Switch. But they don't work on a mobile phone because we all know why. Because they're full of loot boxy.
But people don't buy games. This is the thing: is people don't buy games on phones. If they charged a $5 and made it a good game, they would sell 4 copies to people that worked for EA. I have a question: do you guys play much phone stuff, like phone games?
From time to time.
What do you play?
There was that game that we played with the ball, and you had to smash the thing.
Oh,
Remember that?
yeah.
It's just it was on an on-rail thing. You played it too. You had to smash the ball.
Yeah, and it looked
Oh
beautiful
God,
and
that
had great music.
that's maybe 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Right?
What was that game? We were both playing it for a while. It's oh God.
Hearthstone.
No. I tried playing that. Can't do it.
I'm pretty sure it's.
It was.
It's great.
It was one we had to go
He's pretty
around.
sure
You
it's
had to like pick up different clues, and it was kind of like an interactive story.
I remember you telling me about that. You were saying I should buy it. It was one you had to pay for.
Yeah, we both played it. It would come up with like written like parts of the story. And
These
stuff
were
like that, and
years
go
ago.
through
This is
them.
why Chris
Yeah,
can't remember.
God, yeah.
I have played PUBG on the phone a bit. Oh wait, I fucking play Pokemon Go every day almost.
It's a free game.
Yeah.
Like, how many games do you buy regularly, or if like?
I wouldn't buy a game on the phone. I remember buying.
It's sad.
I remember
Yeah.
buying Tomb Raider 2 on the phone because it was reduced to £1, and I've also bought Rayman, the first Rayman, on the phone
How do
because
they
it was
play?
reduced to £1. Unplayable.
Yeah.
Unplayable. You can't play games on phones. It's undoable.
I think you can do good stuff. It's just people don't pay. Like Nintendo did a full Mario title, and it sold fuck all. And then they made a Fire Emblem game which was free with loot boxes, and it made them 100 billion. Billion.
But like the Pokemon Go game is a good game.
It's not a good game.
Well,
I really enjoyed it when I was playing it, but
I really like it.
I then got bored of it over time because
Yeah.
you just did the same thing.
Pokemon Go was another thing that launched way too early. If they had just a few little extra bits in it, like they still don't have battles. Well, I don't play that very often, do
you
they?
can't battle other people in it.
No. And that was like in the first trailer.
Because then that
and
would
that was the
promote
best thing.
people
Or trading.
fighting each other. And trading, well, you break the game.
So Anthem was teased at last year, and it was a totally new IP that was being developed. We got to have a decent look into that this time around. It looks like a really fun game.
It looks
Someone
like
explain to me what the game is.
I don't know.
Yeah, what is it?
Destiny.
Is it?
It's
Destiny,
essentially
right?
Destiny.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Destiny, but with slightly different armor.
Wait,
and,
I'm not going to invest in it unless it has a battle royale mode.
I don't think it does.
Well, carry on talking. I will.
Maybe next
review
year
my
they'll bring it
notes.
in.
When I see a trailer for Anthem, I'm like, this game has no personality. It looks like they have just pinched bits from everything, but it doesn't have its own charm. It doesn't have its own uniqueness about it. And But like watching the gameplay in the trailer and stuff. I mean, the gameplay trailer, which is obviously bollocks and it's never going to look that good. I was like, for a game with no personality, this looks pretty good.
Yeah.
The trailer was so well cut. I love that cut of the.
Was it the one to Muse?
The Muse track, yeah.
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 Yeah, it was very cool. And it looks like a really fun game. Flying around,
There's a bit
shooting
with
the
like
crap out of things.
flying and then diving into water,
Yeah.
and it just looked awesome.
Yeah, it looks like a lot of fun, a really good AAA game.
I like the thing about the javelins, their suits, and how they all have different abilities, and it's kind of like a hero shooter, but you can choose to switch out your like thing. I'm pretty sure I wrote down it's Destiny meets Iron Man.
Warframe, it looks like as well.
What's the
yeah.
what was the Hunted game that came out? Was it called Hunted? Where it was 4v1, where you
Do you mean
tracked down a
Evolve?
monster.
Yeah.
That was it. It was like Evolve meets Destiny, because you all go around as your selected class and you're fighting these big ass things, but you look exactly like Destiny.
Yeah, again, no personality. Did you guys? So I never really gave Mass Effect a go.
I've played the first one.
No,
I really
didn't
liked
play
it.
Well, okay.
I will play the other ones, but I only played the first one because it was free on Xbox once. And it was just like, I sat down to play it and was just like, oh my god, this is like Star Trek the game. This is really fun. Are they the same people that made Knights of the Old Republic?
BioWare.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But-
and that game was great as well.
But EA bought BioWare and ran it into the ground.
Yeah, but I mean they didn't, because they made the Mass Effect games. And then the people who made Mass Effect went off to make Anthem, and then the B team were like, we're going to make Mass Effect Andromeda and release it unfinished.
Well, Mass Effect, didn't they? Wasn't it supposed to be that everything you did in the game had consequence, and then that rippled through into Mass Effect 2, and then in Mass Effect 3 they basically just wrote that all off.
Yeah, there was a stupid ending that was like really dumb, and everyone complained.
The trouble is, though, when your choices matter is really difficult, because if you have two options, then you've got two outcomes. But then say there's another choice later, and there's two options for that, then that becomes four. And when it's a AAA game and every asset needs making and every model needs rigging, every voice actor needs to come record lines. It's why like Kojima and Konami and stuff got Kiefer Sutherland in it, and he recorded 4 lines for Phantom Pain.
Also,
Roll Phantom Pain.
We're not burying them at sea. What then? We'll make diamonds from their ashes. Take them into battle with us.
So to summarize the EA conference, what score would you give it?
oh, we're giving it scores?
Yeah, we're
Out of
giving it
what?
scores.
Out of 10?
Out of whatever you want.
All right, I'm going out of 6, and I'm going to give it 2 Jameses.
We're not doing that. I'm going to
give it a palette of knives.
I'm going to give it like a 4 out of 10. What's a palette of knives?
Do you know what? If we did being like, if I'm being serious, like Battlefield, don't care, in the nicest way possible. FIFA, I'm not bothered. EA Play, whatever. The Star Wars games, never going to play them. Unravel 2, maybe. Sea of Solitude, maybe. The rest of them, no. It was okay. Like, I mean, like, again, you like review it out of 10, and it's just like, review what? They're doing a tech demo thing, but now it's become not a tech demo because now the public got involved and everything. Yeah.
But that's the
You're
thing.
right,
Who is it
it's a
made
4.
for? Is it made for us to enjoy it? Is it made for the devs to
Well, the
watch?
one that had fucking
And-
Andrew
and
WK was definitely
pat
not made
themselves
for
on
us
the
to
back.
enjoy it because nobody enjoys Andrew WK.
I think they need to work that out, whether if it's going to be truly outward facing and about hype, and like you read all these articles about like who won E3 and
Well, I know.
Hands down.
no, I know as well,
I
but
know who won.
but they need to kind of decide what.
Yeah, it's not a competition, but if it was a competition.
But if it's about like them talking, it's like we are bringing the truly innovative, disruption, emergent, like all this buzzword shit that means nothing, that is all kind of corporate bollocks. Or if it's just like, we know what you wanted Star Wars, but in space, that doesn't make sense. But you know what I mean? Like they're like, you wanted Battle Royale, we fucking put it in the game. You wanted this, we put it in the game.
Okay, I guess they did be like, you wanted Clone Wars, so we've put the Clone Wars in it. You got Grievous, you got Sudoku, you got young pre-evil Darth Vader Anakin, and you got
I think he was evil then.
true, and you got Obi-Wan. Do you reckon? Because they showed Grievous. I noticed that they showed Grievous, but they didn't show Count Dooku, Obi-Wan, or Anakin. Because they're going to have to get the rights to their faces. Am I correct?
To show them at the conference.
As in, they need the rights
assume
to their
they'll have
faces in order to have them in the game, right?
I assume they'll have those rights because they've announced
Well, Christopher
that
Lee
they're
has
going to have them.
died.
Yeah, but they're going to go in the. Yeah, but they've almost certainly signed away all their like merchandising
That
rights
is
and
true,
things.
because Carrie Fisher was just like, she doesn't own her own face anymore, she said.
I mean, that's weird.
No, she said that once when she did a talk about George Lucas. She's just like, it's weird seeing I'm the guy who like owns my likeness. I don't even own my own likeness anymore.
Jesus. Yeah,
The
those
Star
are like
Wars.
all-encompassing contracts.
Yeah.
I just want to put up at the end, EA, I don't even own my fucking life anymore.
Young Kev, how has it been? You know, your success and your path, you know, to where you're at today.
It's